Lassiter Factor.
What's up, all my movie loving maniacs? This is your boy Bangful B of the Lassiter Factor, and today I'm going to talk about the long rumored and long awaited Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair, which was released in theaters over the weekend. I went to the theaters and sat through all 4 hours, so let's review. Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair is basically Kill Bill Volume 1 and Kill Bill Volume 2 stitched together as one movie, as Quentin Tarantino intended, with a 15-minute intermission in between. And we all know the story about Kill Bill. It's about the bride, Beatrix Kiddo. She is presumably killed by the deadly Viper assassination squad on the day of her wedding. But she wakes up 4 years later. She vows revenge, and leading up to Bill, who was her lover. Over a year ago, I did go back and rewatched and reviewed both Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 for their anniversaries. Check it out, it's on my channel. Long story short, I love both films, and I might be in the minority when I say that I prefer Volume 2 over Volume 1, but I understand why people prefer Volume 1 because it is the more action-oriented one. But why I prefer Volume 2 over Volume 1 is just it gets into the meat as to why the bride is going on her revenge quest, and it dives into the relationship between her and Bill. But Kill Bill, it remains one of Quentin Tarantino's best. It's not the best, but it remains one of his best, at least in my opinion. And of course, it remains a modern classic from the 2000s. The reason it was split into two movies in the first place, because one, it was too long, and also because there was just too much blood and violence that they had to cut it down just so that they can also meet that R rating. And even the fight with the crazy 88s, that was put in black and white just to combat the whole bloody aspect of this movie. If you ask me, every time I've watched Volume 1, I go straight to Volume 2. I've always watched both of these movies back to back, but this is the first time where we can watch all of them in one sitting stitched together. There's a lot to admire about this 4 hour cut of Kill Bill now that I finally seen it on the big screen. I mean, not only did I finally see both of these movies on the big screen for the first time, because I never did back in the day. I watched both of these movies for the first time on like Stars back in the day. Just experiencing on the big screen just really made me appreciate the non-linear aspect of these movies, which Quentin Tarantino is known for. The film was also shown in 7mm and 35mm. I wasn't sure which version I watched. I just know I went to an AMC theater, and you can definitely tell that this is an old-ass movie, but I loved it. There are some things that are different from the original cuts of this movie that Quentin Tarantino went back and added in here. Like, for example, there is an extended anime sequence, which is about the origin of I'll even admit, finally watching that sequence on the big screen for the first time, it really does feel a lot more. It doesn't necessarily feel jarring to go from live action to anime, but going from anime to live action, it did feel just a tiny bit jarring actually seen on the big screen. Overall, I did enjoy that extended anime sequence, and it does add to the ruthlessness and viciousness of Oren Ishii. The benefit of watching this on the big screen for the first time is I really got a chance to experience the sound. Like, I really felt every slice, every cut, every gunshot, every punch. The sound design was on point actually watching this on the big screen. I mentioned the fight with the crazy 88. That fight alone was enough to experience on the big screen. And of course, the section that was in black and white is no longer in black and white because this film is unrated. So Quentin Tarantino was allowed to show all the blood and gore within this film, and it definitely, at least to me, made Volume 1 feel more a part of the overall experience. Was a 15-minute intermission, and I gotta tell you, it felt so good having that intermission. I was able to get up, go use the bathroom, get a refill of popcorn, scroll on my phone for a few moments before the movie started back up. Just, it was nice to have that little bit of downtime to decompress before the rest of the movie played. A lot of movies need to do this for 2 hour plus movies. Just saying. I do like how the cliffhanger for part one and the recap from the beginning of part two is completely cut out. Granted, it was a little bit jarring, but it definitely worked, and especially the twist at the end of volume one. And I'm not going to spoil it, but you know what I'm talking about. It's not revealed until the climax of volume two, and I like that they don't reveal that until volume two because it just makes the reveal that much more impactful for us, the audience, and we're just finding out with the bride too. And like I said, I've watched both of these movies back to back before, but watching them together in one sitting, I really do feel the difference between both films because Volume 1 is more action oriented, while Volume 2 is Not boring, just a little bit more slower. But that's what I like about that film. But just watching both of these films back to back in the theater, it's more noticeable to me more than ever. It's like it feels like once you get to volume two, and especially with that 15-minute intermission, it feels like the movie just kind of went to a grinding halt. It's like the movie was just going like this, and then there's some downtime, and then it's just like, it's a little bit slow. But regardless, it doesn't make my enjoyment of both of those films or the type of enjoyment I get from both of them, it doesn't take away. And there is a lost chapter that was recently made and premiered on Fortnite. And honestly, Quentin Tarantino, he could have kept it, but it was nice to watch though. And they even brought back Uma Thurman to voice a character and her stunt double Zoe Bell to do some of the motion capture for this chapter. Anything, I kind of wish they had brought back the deleted scene with Michael Jai White, because I thought that scene was pretty much badass. I get it. They cut it for time. There's even a video where they restructured part of the film because honestly, I feel like everything with Oren Ishii, that should have been the battle before we get to Bill, because watching it as the climax in volume one and then to go back to scale it down a little bit, it just, I don't know, it just kind of felt a little uneven to me at times. And I really enjoyed this. I'm glad I got to finally see it and experience it in the theater. And it just further extends my appreciation for Kill Bill even more, because this was the first film from Quentin Tarantino that I ever saw. And I just love this movie for how it mixed genres together. It's like giving Quentin Tarantino a box of toys and he's just making something out of it. You are a huge fan of this movie, I highly recommend it. And is there a definitive way to watch this movie? I mean, honestly, I do feel like you do need to watch this at least once in your life, and then after that, it's up to you to decide, because I do think there's benefits to both watching both of these movies together and watching them both individually. As far as Quentin Tarantino's filmography goes, I still consider this one movie. I always did, and with this finally out, it further solidifies it. This is truly the fourth film by Quentin Tarantino. Despite that, I gave both films individually a full hands up emoji because they're both masterpieces. But together, I'm just gonna give it a mid hands up emoji. It's still a masterpiece, but the only reason I'm giving it a mid hands up emoji is because I just feel like just the way the vibes of both films together is just even more noticeable to me. But like I said, Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, hands up emoji, because it's a masterpiece. It still remains my third favorite Quentin Tarantino film of all time, number two being Django Unchained, and number one being Pulp Fiction. But that's it for today. Have you seen Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair? If so, let me know what you think in the comments section below. This is your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.